Okay, I want to start by saying something very simple. I have no idea why I'm doing this. It's like not a smart thing for me to be doing. I'll tell you why. I sold my company, okay, like 3 or 4 months ago. It was a big deal, a great deal. Everyone was very, very happy. In that business, we raised $2.5 million. $2 million of that was from a Forbes billionaire. His name was RJ Kirk. Okay, we raised a lot of money. So when I sold the business, I moved to Austin, and I literally just spent the last 15 weeks studying billionaires. In fact, you can see, I've got direct from Dell back here on my bookshelf, Titan, which is Rockefeller. Okay, I've got all these billionaires that I'm studying for the sole purpose of, listen, if you want to be successful, you have to study the best. But, you guys ever wonder this? I watch these billionaire stories, and I wonder, where were they when they were my age? What were they doing when they were 26? What was their net worth when they were my age? Or how much money were they making? Or how many deals had they done? Or were they still in college? Were they married? Did they have a family? What were their circumstances? So that's exactly why I'm doing this, okay? I want to share with you guys these infographics so you can look at the chart of these billionaires and figure out where you lay relative to them, okay? Does that make sense? Are we excited for that? Guys, give me a big ol' heck yes in the questions if you're excited for that. Again, you gotta learn from the best. You have to learn from the best. Sami Khan said, love it. That's exactly why I came. Walter said, yes, yes, yes. So guys, without further ado, I'm going to the next slide. Here we go. Next slide. All right, so here's the big question. After the 30 minutes that we spend together here today, you should be able to answer this question. Will you be rich like these billionaires? Okay, you see the one over there on the left? Do you guys know who that is? Anybody know who that is? You met him before? That's Red McCombs, founder of Clear Channel Radio, bought the Minnesota Vikings for $250 million. We'll talk about him in a second. Most people know Larry Ellison, Oracle. You're not going to believe the risk he took when he was 33 with only $1,200 in his bank. And we're going to talk about Sam Zell, $4.8 billion. Now, my gut tells me none of you have heard of Sam Zell. Tell me in the comments real quick, yes or no. Have you heard of Sam Zell? Don't be shy. You guys can't just watch this stuff and not engage, okay? I don't have to do this. I can just hang this thing up. I much prefer to be outside running. But have you heard of Sam Zell, yes or no? Tell me in the comments. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of no's, a lot of yeses, a lot of no's. Okay, Sam Zell is going to blow your mind. I don't know why more people don't know him, but you're going to learn him. You're going to learn about him. So here's what you're going to get from these 3 billionaires over the next 35 minutes, folks, okay? You're going to learn, 1, the volume card, okay? The billionaire volume card. We're going to talk about how Red McCombs manipulated volume to create his first small fortune, okay, when he was 12 years old. His first small fortune when he was 12 years old. Number 2, we're going to talk about the $50 billion quit. I know you usually don't think entrepreneurs are quitters, but yes, this was a $50 billion quit. I'm going to walk through the quit to get rich system, okay, that Larry Ellison used. How did he spend $1,200 when he was 33 years old to start his fortune? And lastly, folks, we're going to talk about how to learn and earn, how to get other people to pay you to learn. I call this the Trojan horse billionaire, and this has to do with Sam Zell. When he was 21, he got free rent at college by managing 14 of these weird things. You'll understand what those weird things are here. We'll talk about it in about 5 minutes, okay? But this is what kickstarted his bank account. So I'm going forward to the next slide. Let's jump right into the content. Okay, we're going to talk about the volume card first, okay? And as you guys can see, coming up in about 4 minutes and 53 seconds with that countdown on the upper left, we're going to go through to peanuts and profits. Then we're going to go to $50 billion quit. Then $1,200 Ellison. Then Trojan horse billionaire. And then at the end, you'll know, is there anything you're doing in your life similar to what these billionaires were doing when they were your age? Okay. By the way, I feel like ESPN. Isn't this great? I have like the thing and the counter and the my people are so smart. They're so smart. They make me look so good. They make me look so good. All right. All right, let's go forward. Let's go forward. So the volume card. How do you play your volume card? Well, let me introduce you, okay, to Red McCombs. So again, this is the volume card. Beautiful, beautiful mansion. Look at this slide. Is that a beautiful house or what? I mean, this is like a castle. It's unbelievable. Beautiful house, volume card. How did he manipulate volume to create his first small fortune at age 12? That's what I want to discuss. Now, I have to ask one thing. I have to ask one thing. You guys many of you guys are entrepreneurs. What age were you when you sold your first thing? You know what I mean? Your first grass mowing, your first lemonade thing, your first piece of jewelry on the bus, your first piece of candy to your friends. What age were you when you sold your first thing? Tell me in the comments. Okay, Jim Monaghan is saying 15. I'm seeing some of you saying 9. Okay, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at the comments. Don't be shy. You guys cannot be shy, okay? I get really bored if these people are going, we're not engaging, okay? So Phil Henderson said 11, 15, 6 or 7. Soccer card. Zach Smith was selling C's candy bars, car washes, and lawn mowing at 8. Okay, many of you guys are ahead of Red McCombs. Check this out. I'm going to the next slide. Here's Red. Peanuts and profits. Okay, Red today, just so you have a quick background of what he is today. Okay, he's Forbes ranked number 137. Okay, big deal. He's 88 years old. Okay, with a net worth of $1.2 billion. Okay, 1.2 billion, that's a lot. He bought the NFL Vikings for $250 million in 1998, okay, when he was 71 years old. And then I'll let you read that last bullet point in the bottom right, the white text. Do you see it? How many of you guys know or you've heard of iHeartRadio before? That was Red's baby. That was Red's baby. Okay, it's Clear Channel, then it was iHeartRadio. So let's break down how this works. By the way, this is my favorite slide. This is like my favorite infographic. I decided to start doing these, and I spent so much money doing these, you wouldn't believe it. But this is like the key. You know, you put a lock and a key and it opens, you go, wow, this is great. This is like the key to wealth in my opinion. You have to plot billionaires on a graph, right? On a graph with their ages, right? So you see right here where my mouse is? So this is when Red was 12, when he was 14, when he was 22, 23, 26. Okay, I'll let you look at this and kind of dissect it. Find your age on here. Find where you are on this chart, okay, and read what Red was doing in that year, okay, and at that age. All right, read what Red was doing in that year and at that age. I'll let you guys dissect this for a second. By the way, feel free to screenshot this. I don't mind, okay, feel free. This is one of those things I know people love keeping. This is like one of the most, I think, most valuable infographic I think I've ever seen in history. I mean, so valuable, okay? So 1939, folks, he was 12 years old. That was when he first started selling something. So how many of you guys beat him? How many of you beat him? Any of you guys beat him? He was 12 years old before he sold his first thing, and it was peanuts. And we'll talk about the peanut story in a second because his dad taught him a very valuable lesson when he was selling those peanuts. He bought the peanut bag for $100, but he made a mistake when he was selling it. We'll talk about that in a second. In 1941, guys, he got his first job at City Drug. He was making $7 a week. In 1949, he was 22. He quit college. How many dropouts do we have? How many dropouts do we have with us? Tell me in the comments, how many dropouts are with us today? I think we probably have a lot of dropouts. Dropouts love Latka. I don't know why they do. Dropouts love Latka. Do we have a lot of dropouts? Yes. All right. Jim said yep. Matthew said yep. Nick Elliott said yep. Walter said yep. Okay. Sammy Khan said, did he stay married? Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. So again, this is when he started his own company, 1950. So he was 23 years old when he started his own when he started working at a car dealership. Okay, so he's making commission money working at a car dealership. So compare that to yourself. When did you have your first job? Okay, were you working for somebody else? So he was 23, and he also got married that same year. That same year. By the way, folks, look, I know people like spew crap all the time in this info marketing world. This is like not what that is. Again, I don't have to be doing this. I don't want to be doing this, to be quite frank with you, but I actually learn, I retain this information by teaching it. And I have to tell you, I've studied the heck out of this stuff. I mean, this isn't just data I pulled anywhere. I mean, I pulled like every book. Okay, this is Red McCombs, okay, which like I guarantee none of you guys have ever seen before because it sold like 2 copies and you can't really buy it anymore. I mean, I studied every book, every piece of online literature, everything, with the goal of getting this infographic as accurate as possible. So you could truly study and look at your life and say, where was Red when he was my age? So when he was 26, what do you guys, see what he did there when he was 26? You guys read that? When he was 26, he had $7,000 saved. Okay, $7,000 saved, 12.5, and he got a $12,500 loan to start his own dealership. So that was, again, $7,000 saved plus $12,500 loan. He started his first dealership, okay, at 26. Now, there's a critical lesson here. He understood the value of using debt. How many of you guys at 26 Had you already pulled out I'm not talking credit card debt, I'm talking business debt. How many of you already had business debt, smart business debt at the age of 26? This is a pattern I'm seeing through all these billionaires. They understand how to use other people's money, okay? Other people's money. Chelsea said I dropped out when I was ready. Andy Snowden said 2 degrees in law. Andy, you're gonna like Sam Zell. He got a law degree too. That's coming up in about 4 minutes. Okay, Tajasi said you are definitely data-driven. That is correct. Holly said no. Alberto said no, no debt. Walter said no debt, okay? So again, no debt. And then in 1957, when he was 30 years old, he sold the Clippers. He sold the Clippers, which is his NBA franchise. In 1958, when he was 31, he moved out to San Antonio, okay? Anyone from Texas? Yeah, Cowboys, Boots, Spurs. All right. 1970, okay, guys, he bought the Spurs. When he was 43 years old, he bought an NBA team. Okay, how do you compare to that? When he was, again, 43 years old, he bought an NBA team. Okay, 46, he bought the Dallas Chaparrals by leasing the team with the right to buy. Genius negotiation strategy. So instead of paying $1 million for the team, he said, I'm going to pay you X amount per month, and those monthly payments to the previous owner would count towards an exit price if he decided to exercise that option. Really smart. Think about the money you're spending right now, right? Maybe it's on rent. What if you called the landlord and said, hey, can I have my rent apply, right, if I ever want to buy the house you're in for, say, $500K? Think about cash streams you're already paying about monthly. Can you apply those to a future deal? Think about that, okay? That was smart. Red did it. Let's see, in 1983, when he was 56, he bought the Denver Nuggets, and then 5 years later, he sold them when he was 61 for $47 million. And folks, today he is 88 years old. Okay, he's worth $1.53 billion according to Forbes. And I want to break in and now go to the next slide and talk about the billionaire secret that I pulled from Red that you need to know. Okay, look at this and see if you can figure it out, okay? His first big deal, this is what I call the volume card. Okay, this is the volume card, guys. It's so, so critical. When Red, okay, was, let's see, he was 12 years old. He asked his dad to loan him $100, and he bought one bag of peanuts, okay, a big bag, okay, like I don't know how many pounds it was, but a big bag of peanuts. And he split up those peanuts into little brown baggies and went and sold them. So he made 50 bags, okay, and he sold each bag for $2. Now do the math, people. Yes or no in the comments. Does he make money off that? It cost him $100. He sells 50 at $2 a pop. Yes or no? Does he make money? Okay, by the way, I get the smartest people on these webinars. Smartest people, beautiful people, geniuses. Of course, you guys know this. No, you break even, right? You don't make money on that, okay? So his dad came back. You know, Red was all excited, right? I just made $100. And his dad said, okay, son, it's time for you to pay back the $100 loan that I gave you to buy the peanuts. And Red gets upset, right? He has to give up all the $100. So his dad said, son, what you should do is put half the amount of peanuts in every bag, okay? Half the amount of peanuts in every bag. So same $100, but next week, he then put half the amount of volume in each bag, sold 100 bags at $2 a pop. Okay, so he did $200 in revenue, paid his dad $100 for the supply, right, of peanuts, and he netted $100. This is so simple, but so many of you guys are making this mistake. I guarantee there's something in your business right now. And look at typical examples. When you go through the line at Subway, and you look at the little chip baggies, what do? They pump those things so full of air, it looks like that girl from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and she's about to pop. It's like all air, and it's like this much chips. They understand the volume principle, right? They understand the volume principle. So what I encourage you to think about, this is billionaire, in my opinion, billionaire secret number one. The lowest, yeah, I'll let you read the quote on my screen. I just went to the next slide. That's billionaire secret number one. Every billionaire participates in volume manipulation. Many of them when they were very young. The lowest cost way to double your profits, folks, is to cut volume. It's to cut your volume. And you're watching this right now going, but I do a digital product. This doesn't work for me. Yes, it does. I'll show you in the next slide, okay? The lowest cost way to double profits, okay, is to cut volume. Let me give you 2 examples, and I want to know if you agree or not, okay? So, for example, let's say you're selling on Amazon, whether it's fish oil or a book or whatever. Put 1/2 the amount of fish oil, okay? Make your book, instead of 200 pages, make it 100 pages. Okay, sell it for 10 or 20 bucks, and then you already have your next book written, 100 pages, 10 or 20 bucks. No matter what you do, guys, you sell some product that you can cut the volume in half with, okay? Whether it's physical products, ebooks, membership sites, put in half the amount of videos. Cut whatever you deliver in half, charge the same price, margins stay the same, but top line revenue and bottom line profit both increase, okay? Folks, yes or no, tell me in the comments. Do we agree? Good strategy? Or call bullshit on me? Look, if you think this is like I'm full of crap, you can call bullshit on me. But I love looking at billionaires and seeing what they did early. You have to understand volume. Now, Sami's going, Nathan, is this borderline unethical? Why is it unethical? Why on earth would this be unethical? It's your product. It's your product. You're not lying. It's your product. All right? You're not hiding anything. You're not hiding the fact that you're cutting it in half. Right? Cut it in half. They still get to experience eating the peanuts, right? They're just getting 1/2 the amount of peanuts they got, okay? So guys, yes or no in the comments. Can you think of something that you're selling right now that you can cut the volume in half, keep the same price, and increase your profits? Yes or no? Yes? Matthew Goldenberg said yes. Okay, very good. Tijasawi, is that how you pronounce it? Said yes, SaaS can do this. Samit Khan said cutting value in half as well. More money, not as great for conscience. What about customers always win? Samit Khan, you can still have a big win for customers, right? You can still deliver a lot of value, right? But especially if you have hard costs, cut the volume in half. It's simple, okay? All right, very good.